So yesterday on May 3rd, around 10 a.m., there was a major collapse of the lava delta at the Kamakuna ocean entry. Yeah, it wasn't entirely surprising. I mean, these deltas are inherently unstable. And over the last week or more, we had seen cracks develop in the delta, and actually it would look like some sagging on the front of the delta, where the front of the delta seemed like it was kind of slumping towards the sea. So those were definitely signs of instability, and this wasn't terribly surprising. The camera views show that after the delta collapsed, there was a small lava stream at the base of the sea cliff, but it did not look as spectacular as the fire hose from several months ago, which was basically coming out, fountaining out of the top of the sea cliff where the lava tube exits the sea cliff. Yeah, the delta started forming in late March, basically. And soon after it started forming, there was actually a collapse of the delta that triggered an explosion. And we've posted photos of this on our webpage, where there is actually a block field around the top of the sea cliff in that area. Of course, this is in the closed area, and that's exactly why the area is closed, is because there's risk of explosions. But these blocks, some of them were half a yard across, so they were big blocks, and thrown out to about 70 yards from the sea, around the sea cliff. We had a report of a small collapse several days ago, so there may have been smaller collapses. And actually, small collapses at these deltas happen frequently, so they may be observed, very frequently. Just kind of a normal, as the lava delta is building out, small bits of it are, often falling in. But this happened yesterday on May 3rd was, a major collapse where most of the delta was removed. What was interesting about the collapse is how quickly it happened. Previous collapses we've seen, operate in kind of piecemeal fashion over the course of hours, but the time-lapse camera that was capturing the sea cliff or the delta collapse actually showed that most of the delta collapsed within about 5 minutes. We're uploading some time-lapse camera photos, and the time-lapse camera was acquiring an image every 5 minutes. So in one image, you see the delta is there, and then the next image, it's mostly disappeared. So it was a very quick change at the ocean entry. When the delta collapsed, there was a small remnant part of it still attached to the sea cliff, and on that sea cliff, there were steaming blocks after the collapse. So it almost suggested that there may have been a small local tsunami that washed those blocks up on the residual delta there. What was also interesting is that about a half an hour before the collapse happened, it looked like the delta was starting to crack open a bit because there was some steaming and what looked like spattering on the delta that probably originated from cracks developing and seawater starting to creep in. That was about a half an hour before the delta collapsed. Now the delta, the ocean entry, of course, is still active. There's still lava pouring into the water. Still a potentially hazardous area because these deltas can often reform within a matter of days and potentially collapse again.